So this is a video that I've been kind of wanting to make for a while now. I say a while. Uh, it's been about 4 days, 3 or 4 days. Um, so it's kind of about like mental health. Um, and sorry if I'm stuttering. That's kind of still kind of a hard thing to talk about, but it's good to talk about it. So uh, last Saturday, um, I was at work and I started to have what I would presume to be a panic attack. Um, so I couldn't stop myself. I couldn't breathe. I left work and I had my mom take me to it's a Lincoln Trail Behavioral, but it's kind of like a rehab center, pretty much. And I never wanted to do it. I was always against it. Um, but I'd been having a lot of issues with my girlfriend, and we'd also just had a baby. So everything was very stressful. Um, I finally, like I said, after that was just, I gotta do it now or I'll never go. I have to go right now. And I drove back, because it's in the next town over, or a few towns over. So I drove back, had my mom take me there. They admitted me, instantly thought, what the hell have I done? I walked in. Of course, they test me for like the COVID and everything. Um, but they were like, yeah, we're definitely going to admit you, which felt like bag of rocks dropped in my stomach. It sucked. I knew what I was getting myself into. I expected them to, but still just hearing it, it was rough. So I get admitted, going to the unit. They show me my room. Thank God I didn't have a roommate. Thank God. I had my own room. I pretty much for the first 2 days that I was there, um, I didn't leave my room, because the unit that they had put me on, a lot of people had been like in there for like detoxing, like severe alcoholics, crackheads, heroin users, everything. And but there was a couple people that were in there like me, which was for depression and anxiety. I was suffering from like mood swings. Um, One thing that I didn't really get touched too much on was my compulsive disorder. Um, but they the only time that I would leave my room was whenever they would force me to, which was to eat, which I turned down a couple times. Um, but I ate at least once a day those first 2 days, probably once a day, and then I would go out to see the doctor, and then once the doctor started prescribing me medicine, I then um, started to have to come out to take my medicine and such. The third day, I kind of eased myself into it a little bit more. Like I said, it was still pretty rough for me, but I got myself to kind of step out more, um, and I started meeting people slowly. Um, First guy, the only reason why I even started talking to him, and it was my first step out of my comfort zone to actually go out and kind of talk to some of the other people that were in there. I overheard him saying that he worked at Impel Series, which is the same place that I had been working for prior to my new job now. So I went up to him and was like, "Hey, you worked at Impel Series?" He was like, "Yeah." We kind of started talking, and my whole thing is anytime, like not even just here, but just anywhere that I've gone, I start off real nervous at first, but if I can make one friend or get myself to open up to one person, I'm golden. I can talk to anybody about anything. I just have to have that first icebreaker. And he was. He'd been in and out of a lot of rehab facilities. He's been to numerous jails. But I mean, he really was a good guy. He was a good guy, and I believe it was either the beginning of my 4th day or at the end of my 3rd day he left, and I was starting to open up to other people because I'd already started to open up to him, so it felt a little bit easier to start to talk to other people. So I started to do that, and I met this one guy named Anthony, and Anthony is the one that, because everybody liked Anthony, so the fact that me and him clicked, I then started to, he kind of helped me branch out to all the other people that I ended up pretty much, I would call friends by the end of it. Um, we, you would be like on a fixed schedule. Um, you wake up at 7 a.m., you take your first round of medicine, you go to breakfast. They'd let you outside a couple different times a day for 15 minutes, let you get some air, they would let you smoke, which I thought was weird, because they wouldn't let me have my vape, but they would let people smoke cigarettes, but whatever. I probably smoked the nastiest cigarettes. It was these, uh, straight non-menthol cigarettes. Gross. Disgusting. But anyways, yeah, so you would always go to a class. Your first class was at 10:30 in the morning. It was called psychoeducational study or something like that. And started doing that. And I mean, it was crazy. You learn about different types of family roles in disorganized families, and that was the one that I kind of liked the most, because most of the other classes were all about substance addiction. But that wasn't the real reason why I was in there. The main reason I think they put me in that unit was just because I was drinking. And that was enough for them to say, yeah, just throw them in there, let them detox. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm glad they did, because like I said, I met so many great people. But yeah, so I, was really into the psychoeducational classes. It kind of helped me kind of don't like people knowing that I'm recording, because it just makes me uncomfortable. So I kind of had to stop it there for a second. But no, those classes really helped me, because they talked about the disorganized family roles, and just kind of made me kind of feel like some of the things that I always kind of thought was going on were actually going on. And you start to understand why families work certain ways that they do, and it also kind of helps you realize that, even the people in the room with you, there's a lot of people that, kind of have it worse, because that was a big part of it. And not to talk bad about the other people, because like I said, I mean, most of them were great people. They just had issues, like everybody does. And you kind of get put into perspective that other people have it worse than you do. When you're going through it, you think that the whole world's against you, things can't get any worse. They can. They can. And like I said, it just puts in the perspective, and like I said, not to say anything bad about them, but it makes you feel better about yourself whenever you see how they are, and things that have happened to them. There was this one lady. She it just seemed like everything that she did for attention, and that's the kind of thing that you do still have to look out for. Is that even though a lot of people are there to better themselves, there's also people there just because they do want attention. And it was good that I was able to, identify that. I don't know why it's so blurry. But I don't know. But yeah, and it's good to be able to identify that, because you do still have to remember, yeah, there's a lot of people that are there that can help you out, but it's just like in the real world, like you still got to look out for the people that aren't going to help you out, and the people that are just kind of using you. Like she was kind of using us to get attention, instead of really, like just trying to use the people around her to get help, which is what you do in there. You make your friends, but it's because that the people that are actually trying to help you that you're able to become friends like that. And like I said, I mean, that's just like anything in life. There's going to be people that are going to be there just to use you, and then there's going to be people that are genuinely trying to help you. And sometimes it can be hard to pick that out, but just make sure that whenever you do find the people that are trying to help you, you got to help them back. You got to show that you appreciate it, because sometimes you use that person one too many times, and that whenever you actually need their help, you done wasted. They don't want to help you no more. And that was just kind of one of the things that I learned. And one thing that they kind of talked about that I wasn't expecting, because you always hear that forgiveness is the first step to bettering yourself. You don't have to forgive someone as in like, all the bad things they did to you. Oh, okay, that's fine. Nah, you don't have to do that. You can forgive someone, but that doesn't mean that you have to accept them back. I'll use my sister, for example, because that's one of the things that's bothered me for a long time. My sister only talks to me whenever it's something that I can do for her. And she's used me so many times, and I've always been the one that's left hanging whenever I needed something from her. So I forgive her for what she's done to me, and I don't hold a grudge over it. But that doesn't mean that I just have to keep letting her do it because she's family. If she needs help with my nephew, I'll help that kid all day. But when it's just something for her, because she's selfish, I'll forgive her. But that doesn't mean that I have to stand there and keep getting used. Because at the end of the day, you are what's most important. It always sounds so cliche, but you learn it when you're going through it. And once you start to come out of it, you realize that if you're not taking care of yourself, and you're not appreciating who you are and making sure that you're in the right, mental state or position, you can't help other people around you. You can't help people when you can't help yourself. That's another thing that I learned. But yeah, so started to meet a lot of great people, Um, you know, just whenever you're going through issues, I'm not saying just run straight to rehab, but whenever it just gets to the part to where you just feel like that it's too much, either leave a comment on this video and tell me if you want me to help you break it down with some of my experiences in the same way, or even more in detail, or seek help. If you think something's wrong with you, like I was realizing that something was wrong with me up here, and that's why I knew that I needed help. Don't wait like I did, because I almost ruined my whole life. My baby, my girlfriend that I love, my family, the ones that are truly there for me and actually want what's best for me. I almost threw it away because I wanted to be stubborn. Don't be stubborn when people are trying to help you, because all it's going to do is lift you up and make you better. So sit down, talk with your family. If you don't feel comfortable talking to your family, like I didn't / still kind of don't, it's okay to ask for help. Go to a therapist. Try talking to your friends first. Maybe they can help you out before it gets to that point where you need a therapist, or before you need to admit yourself somewhere. Because I was stripped away from my baby and from my family for 5 days. And even though, just because of how much I learned and how much I was still learning, part of me wanted to stay longer. When I first got there, I did not want to be there at all. I thought I made the biggest mistake of my life. But now I'm thinking that was one of the biggest blessings in my life, was being there and meeting those people and learning what I've learned. I learned some more things too, and I can talk about that in another video if you'd like. But it was really an eye-opening experience. And just remember that even when things are tough in the beginning, if you genuinely think, even the slightest bit, that it's something that's going to help you, stick it out. Stick it out, because you never know what could be on the other side. It could be bad. Honestly, it could be. But I listened to my gut that day, and it was one of the best decisions I ever made. So, like I said, if there's something else you want me to talk about, comment. If you like what I have to say, leave a like. I don't care what you do. I'm open to doing more of these. This is something I've always wanted to do. I've always actually wanted to do YouTube. I've never been able to mentally stick to it. But now I'm on, medicine. I've been thinking clear. I'm more driven to do the things that I want to do, because there's no reason to just sit around and let yourself be miserable all the time. Do something that's fun. Do something you want to do. I think this can be fun. I still want to do games too. I still want to do these talks, because it feels good to let this off my chest, and if I can help you guys get some stuff off your chest, awesome. So, like I said, anything you want me to talk about, comment. Just let me know. Let me know. Alright. Thanks for listening, guys. Stay safe. Have a good day.